Okay, good morning students. How are you? Okay, sit down. So today I am going to discuss about the consumer's equilibrium. Today I am going to discuss about consumer's equilibrium. What is equilibrium? Equilibrium means the consumer will get the maximum satisfaction from the goods and services if he or she is spending a rupee. Equilibrium means to get the maximum satisfaction. So equilibrium is a situation if a consumer is spending any rupee, his aim is to get the maximum satisfaction from the goods and services. Now what is utility? What is utility? Utility means the one satisfying power of a commodity. Power of a commodity is called utility. Is called utility. I have already told equilibrium. Equilibrium is a situation where the consumer is getting the maximum satisfaction if or she is spending 1 rupee. Then what is utility? Utility means the one satisfying power of a commodity is called utility. And utility is divided into two types. One is your marginal utility and another is your total utility. Utility is divided into how many types? Two types. One is your marginal utility and another is your total utility. Total utility. Now we will discuss what is total utility and what is marginal utility. I have already told the utils is the unit of utility. Is the unit of utility. What is the unit of utility? The unit of utility is utils. Clear? So utility is divided into two types. One is your marginal utility and another is your total utility. Then what is total utility? What is total utility? Total utility means it depends on the sum or total. So what is total utility? It is the sum total of all consumption of goods, and services. Goods and services. It is the sum or the total of all consumption of the goods and services that a consumer is consuming. Then what is the formula of total utility? What is the formula of total utility? U1 plus U2 plus U3 ... It will be continue to your UN, means unlimited product. What is total utility? It is the sum or the total of all consumption of the goods and services if a consumer is consuming. What is the formula of total utility? U1 plus U2 plus U3 up to it will continue to the end product. Because U is the utils and utils is the unit of utility. Now clear? Now I am giving an example. Suppose a person is consuming 3 ice creams. Suppose a consumer is consuming 3 ice cream. The first ice cream gives the satisfaction of 10 utils. The first ice cream is giving the satisfaction of 10 utils and the second ice cream is giving 20 utils, giving the satisfaction of 20 units, and the third ice cream also giving the 30 units. Then what is the total? Units. So what is the total utility? Total utility, it is the sum or the total of all consumption of the goods and services when a consumer is consuming any types of commodities. Then the formula total utility equals to U1 plus U2 plus U3 up to n, and the example, if the first ice cream is giving the 10 units, the second ice cream is giving the 20 units, and the third ice cream is giving the 30 units. So what is the total? 60 units, because total utility is U1 plus U2 plus U3, then it will be continue to the n commodity. Now clear to everybody? Okay. Then what is marginal utility? What is marginal utility? What is marginal utility? Marginal utility means, otherwise it is known as to the additional utility. The marginal utility is otherwise known as additional utility. Is otherwise known as additional utility. So what is marginal utility? It is the additional utility. It is the additional utility of all the combination of goods and services. Goods and services. So marginal utility, it is the additional utility of all the combination of the goods and services. Then what is the formula of marginal utility? Mu means your marginal utility. Total utility n minus Tu n minus 1, it will be continue up to Tu n minus n. Clear? What is the formula of marginal utility? Total utility of n product minus total utility of n minus 1 and n minus 2 and n minus 3, it will be continue up to n minus n. For example, suppose 10 units giving you 30 utils of satisfaction, and 20 units gives you the 10 units of satisfaction. Then what is the additional utility? Additional utility means 30 minus 10 equals to 20. So this 20 is your additional utility. Or you can take the another example. Suppose 10 units giving the 50 utils of satisfaction and the 20 units give the 10 units of satisfaction. Then what is the additional utility? 50 minus 10 equals to 40. Clear? Marginal utility means the additional utility, it refers to the additional utility, and total utility means it depends on or it refers to the total or the sum of the consumption of all the goods and services, whether a consumer is consuming goods or services. Clear? Now we will discuss what is the difference between cardinal utility and the ordinal utility. What is the difference between cardinal utility and ordinal utility? and ordinal utility. Number 1, in case of cardinal utility, satisfaction is measured. Satisfaction is measured in terms of number, in terms of numbers. But in ordinal utility, satisfaction measures in terms of ranks, in terms of ranks. Number 2, cardinal utility, it is quantitative. It is quantitative. But in case of ordinal utility, it is qualitative. It is qualitative. Point number 3, it based on marginal utility. It based on marginal utility, but it based on your indifference curve analysis. It based on IC. IC means, I have already told, IC means indifference curve analysis. Then point number 4. What is the point number 4? It was developed by Alfred Marshall but ordinal utility, it was developed by Higgs. It was developed by Higgs. And last point, point number 5, it is the single unit of commodity. It is the single unit, but it depends on, it is combination of goods. It is the combination of goods. So what is the difference between the cardinal utility and the ordinal utility? Number 1, in case of cardinal utility, satisfaction measures in terms of number, but in case of ordinal utility, satisfaction measured in terms of ranks. Point number 2, cardinal utility is quantitative, but the ordinal utility is qualitative. Point number 3, it is based on the marginal utility analysis, but it was based on the indifference curve analysis. Then point number 4, it was developed by Alfred Marshall, but ordinal utility, it was developed by Higgs. Then point number 5, it is the single unit commodity, but in case of ordinal utility, it is the combination of the goods, minimum 2 goods. Clear? Okay. What is the difference between, we have already discussed about the total utility and marginal utility. Now we will discuss the relationship between total utility and the marginal utility. Relationship between TU and MU. TU means your total utility and MU means your marginal utility. So listen, see the diagram. This is the total utility and this is the marginal utility. What is the relationship between the total utility and the marginal utility? When the total utility increases, then the marginal utility is positive. When the total utility increases, then the marginal utility is positive. Clear? Then point number 2. When the total utility is maximum, then the marginal utility is 0. When the total utility is maximum, then the marginal utility is 0. Clear? Then point number 3. When the total utility decreases, then the marginal utility is negative. Marginal utility is negative. When the total utility decreases, then the marginal utility is negative. Clear? This is the most important question. Maximum time this type of question will come in the exam. Discuss the relationship between the total utility and the marginal utility. See, the total utility increases, then the marginal utility positive. Total utility increases, then the marginal utility is positive. When the total utility is maximum, then the marginal utility is 0. And when the total utility decreases, then the marginal utility is negative. Clear? Okay. Thank you.